Here we are. After rumors of politics affecting the race, stories of NASCAR going to the Daytona Roval instead, teams having to cover up certain sponsor logos, which, yeah, it did happen because sponsorship laws in Mexico are different from the States, yada yada yada. Planes having trouble taking off, and the haulers needing armed escorts, which, because it's Mexico, of course you need armed escorts. We are finally at Mexico City, and NASCAR was committed to bringing the V8 power racing machines to international markets. This is also the first time that the Xfinity Series raced there since 2008, so it's been a while since NASCAR has ever raced in Mexico City, in both series. So yeah, it's one of the most exciting races on the calendar since Rockingham. Also, it's the first time that the Cup Series had a points-paying international race since the 1950s. But anyways, I watched part of the practice and qualifying session, and that too got delayed due to the aforementioned issues with planes taking off. Zillage is on pole for the most anticipated NASCAR Xfinity Series race in history. Because this is Mexico, we get a different national anthem for this race. Chef David Chang also makes a guest appearance and gave off the command to start their engines. Another special guest is going to give off the command to start their engines in the Cup Series race later today. I'll tell you who it is once that race goes underway, but anyways. The Xfinity Series return to Mexico begins with Connor Zillage making a jump to the lead, and then Ty Gibbs is trying to take the lead from him. And Ty Gibbs is now leading. Come on, man. Like, the guy who compared himself to Jesus is in the lead. And no, I will not forgive him for that. Like, there's one time when he won his race at Martinsville, he compared himself to Jesus. Don't do that, man. Never do that. And it never works out. Like, John Lennon did that, and look where that got him. Yep. Pretty sad of what happened to him. He was a legend. Rest in peace, John Lennon. You might be gone, but you will be forever ever remembered as the guy who made a lot of great music from the Beatles. And press F to pay respects to him. Anyways. Oh, come on. Yeah, that's how I reacted when I saw Ty Gibbs leading. Like, I don't want to see him in the lead. You can't just, compare yourself to Jesus. I want to see Zillage get past him. He tries to get past him, but contact is made, which means that he'll probably get penalized. Yeah, Ty Gibbs forced Zillage onto the grass. Like, don't be so aggressive, man. Like, cool it. You're not as good as you think you are. And the caution comes out with Sam Mayer violently hitting the wall. A caution. A freaking caution came out already. Of course, he had to come down to pit road to repair his car. The caution ends with a huge battle for the lead. Ty Gibbs and Taco Bell continue their battle for the lead. Jeremy Clements has engine issues and had to come down to pit road. Suarez continues to move through the field. Yeah, Nintendo DS is in the race. It's Michael Moose's nickname for him, by the way. Harrison Burton spins out, but because the track is so big, he was able to get back on the track without causing a caution. Zillage makes a late break and overtakes Bell for second. Christopher Bell loses control and spins out while Gibbs and Zillage continue to duke it out. Justin Allgaier also got loose and had a transmission issue. And he's out of the race. Good lord. Altitude, yeah, the higher elevation is causing issues for Cup Series drivers, especially higher altitudes. Good lord. Jesse Love also forced Sammy Smith to spin out. Again! Yeah, these two are always at it. Jesse Love is bad that he got his Rockingham win taken away from him because of a disqualification. Probably because he's still bad about his race win getting taken away from him. Christopher Bell comes down to pit road to flip the stage, and several other drivers also come down to pit road to have their tires changed and their cars refueled. I also forgot to mention that there was an issue off pit road with Suarez and Thompson. Gibbs and Zillage are next to come down. Zillage beats Gibbs off of pit road. Yes, he did it! As long as if Ty Gibbs isn't leading, I am happy. Now let that be a lesson to never compare yourself to Jesus again. Yep, I still won't forgive him for that. I can't believe he actually said that when he did it. Good Lord, like, never compare yourself to Jesus, because bad things will happen. Neither drivers are leading as they gave up the lead to Carson Kvapil. Taylor Gray and Jesse Love battle for second, and Gray manages to get past him, but it might be too late to catch up to Carson Kvapil, as he would be the one to win the first stage of the Xfinity Series return to Mexico. During the stage caution, we get a good view of the corners that have the grandstands that are laid out like a stadium. Yeah, those set of corners that are pretty unique to the track, and it's also a unique set piece. It's probably another reason why NASCAR wanted to stay committed to their plans of going to Mexico City, because that set of corners is just amazing. And a race health report for Daniel Suarez. One driver gets a blown tire and had to come down to pit road. Speaking of which, several other drivers comes down to pit road. Jesse Love wins the race off of pit road. Just like Austin Hill, I don't want to see him winning the race off pit road. Yeah, I'm not forgiving Jesse Love for him forcing Connor Zilisch to spin out of control. You just took a race win away from him and injured him. But we got a Kyle Larson win at Texas though, so it's not all bad. But still not forgiving him for that. Jesse Love, you gotta cool it, man. You gotta cool it. But anyways, the second stage begins with Zilisch leading again. This time, Ty Gibbs doesn't take the lead as he falls behind and gets a Nintendo GS jump scare. Yeah, a Nintendo DS jump scare. Yeah, that's who Michael Moose calls him sometimes. Suarez tries his best to hold off Ty Gibbs until he gets past Suarez. Anthony Alfredo loses control. While Zilisch continues to lead, Hill blows a tire and, like before, doesn't cause a caution as the track is big enough to not cause an issue for the other drivers. Carson Kvapil also spun out. Suarez is running in a backup car. A couple of drivers come down to pit road and Thomas is out of the race. Taco Bell also has engine issues, and then all of a sudden, chaos ensues. Zilisch and Gibbs come down to pit road while this is going on. This time, Zilisch and Gibbs are neck and neck, but they both gave up the lead to Sammy Smith as they decide to flip the stage. Just like that, Sammy Smith wins the second stage. Christopher Bell is now out of the race and no longer a threat to Zilisch and Gibbs. Several drivers come down to pit road during the stage caution. Taylor Gray wins the race off pit road. But it's not for the lead as several drivers decide to flip the stage yet again. With 19 to go, the third and final stage begins with Zilisch and Gibbs going neck and neck. Suarez manages to get past both Ty Gibbs and Zilisch, and then all of a sudden chaos ensues and causes the next caution! Again, with the caution! Zilisch just barely managed to escape and got damage done to his fender, but Ty Gibbs is as lucky as he got damage done to the back of his car, and is, well, no longer in contention to win the race. Yeah, should have been more careful, Gibbs. Something that's unique about Mexico City is we get different types of pace cars. Hopefully this will carry over to the Cup Series race. The caution ends with Suarez leading and fending off Ecus and Gray, which he does pretty well. Suarez is also getting cheers as he's the hometown hero here. If all goes well, we would get an excellent victory. Connor Zilisch starts catching up, even though he had damage done to his car. Wow, there's nothing that can stop him. He's just incredible, man. He's an excellent road course driver. Taylor Gray manages to get past Ecus for second and tries chipping away at Suarez's lead gap. Oh, come on! Austin Hill gets past Christian Ecus. Why? Just why? I understand if a colleague has an affiliation with RCR, and that teammates usually let teammates get past, but he's Austin Hill. He's the heel of Richard Childress Racing. He's the baddie of Richard Childress Racing, the villain. Even though he does have an anti-bullying message, he's pretty much like the villain of RCR. That's how he was always looked at, because of something. Jesse Love is forced onto the grass by Sammy Smith, and they continue to go at each other. Jesse Love spins out, hits the wall, and causes the next caution of the day. And he has tire issues. The caution ends with Suarez making a big jump to the lead. Suarez is forced onto the grass, but he still hangs on to the lead. Ryan Sieg spins out, but he manages to get back on the track, which is good for road courses, because the cool thing about road courses is that you can spin out, but because of the size of the track, no caution is thrown as the track is big enough for the drivers to be safe, so that's good. Nick Sanchez also has some smoke coming out of his car, but not from his engine. Zillage attempts to get past Hill and Eckes, but falls back as Eckes shut the door on him. BJ spins out and no caution is thrown as he got out of the way of the other drivers. On the final lap, Gray and Suarez continue to battle for the lead. Gray brakes late and tries to get past Suarez, but Suarez throws the block and wins for the hometown crowd. Yay! Yeah, he actually won a race for the people at Mexico because he is Mexican. Normally, I don't like seeing bushwhackers winning races in the Xfinity Series, but I'll let this one pass as Suarez is the hometown hero. Needless to say, Junior Motorsports took a risk and it paid off. The Xfinity Series return to Mexico was amazing! It was an excellent race. I watched it on TV and I was rooting for Suarez to win the race. Yeah, so Nintendo DS definitely delivered on an excellent race win here, and he deserves it. And props to Michael Moose for coming up with that nickname, by the way. I think because his name is Daniel and Suarez, his two initials are DS, it means that he'll get the nickname Nintendo DS. Get it? We got to see some excitement and a hometown hero winning a race after starting in the back and crashing out his main car during qualifying. Yeah, despite crashing out his main car during qualifying and getting a backup car, he still manages to win. Yeah, so it seems as if the movie Herbie Fully Loaded is actually realistic after all, as drivers do crash out during qualifying after they do practice. Yeah, don't explain how that happens. It's just stuff happens, right? Yeah, stuff happens. It gets a 9 out of 10. Will the Cup Series also deliver at Mexico City? Tune in later today to find out. But for now, let's sign off. No related races from last year to link to, so I'll just tell you to like, comment, subscribe, and hit that notification bell just in case you haven't already done so. Nos vemos la próxima vez. That's Spanish for catch you guys next time. Peace out. Yeah, even though my Spanish is a bit rusty. I don't learn Spanish, by the way, but still, peace out.